As we continue to build our movement competence from we don't know what we don't know about how we've been losing efficiency to we become conscious that we're losing efficiency, and that might feel like stiffness and pain and don't feel like you used to, think you're just getting old, hurt yourself, or feel discomfort or pain or drained at the end of the day after doing body work. For me, it was, I said, I'm gonna have to study movement because I keep hurting myself. So, an initial practice that you can start to do, and we do this in different classes, is we have an exercise called seated arcing. And so seated arcing, this is Jaffe, by the way. Seated arcing, what you want to do is get a stool. Stool is good, that you can, and flat if you can. And this is all about bringing awareness to spinal mobility, massaging and aligning the spine. This exercise, I like to call it connectorcise, is you can do cat-cow on the floor. You could use it for partial weight bearing if you were injured. And what I want you to do is just bring your awareness to the front of your ankles underneath your knees. So you probably need to look, and then spread your toes and make a connection to the ground. And then just kind of take an inventory. Do you feel more weight on one sit bone than the other? And bring your awareness to your breath. Dynamic neuromuscular stabilization talks about the cylinder of strength and balance. I like to call it kind of strength and wisdom connection. And just notice, particularly for now, where the weight of your body is in your feet and the weight of your body is on your sit bones. And then just begin transferring your weight a little bit, front to back, side to side. And just get curious about what you sense and feel. As body workers, we talk about the tools in our toolbox that we use to work on people. And it's a decent analogy, so what I would like to propose is that we become the most effective tool in our toolbox. Our body usage, becoming more three-dimensional, and then come back to center, and then just ask again, what do you feel? Spread your toes. And then just tip back just a little bit, and then release your pelvis. And what we're going to do is, if you can, transfer your weight side to side and put the web of your hand on your iliac crest. And then let your thumbs, now we're going to add a little bit different awareness, let your thumbs take you back and down, and your chest falls and your head nods. And breathe out. And then transfer your weight forward, breathe in, return to where you started. And then again, thumbs take you back and down. Now, if you don't have this range or it doesn't feel comfortable, you can put your hands right here at your greater trochanter and kind of make a wheel motion. So these hand placements, top of your iliac crest and your greater trochanter, are for your awareness. Because if we've unconsciously been losing our movement effectiveness, having places of awareness, and really that's the first thing we lose, is awareness. Our body can compensate and compensate and compensate, and we don't even know it. We're not aware of it. So find which one works for you. Maybe you might want to do thumbs back and down on one side and hand on the wheel on the other side, the wheel of your pelvis, we'll call it. Bring the other hand on. And a little bit of, it's not a secret, but we don't really think about it and we don't really consciously use it, is if I push in the same side foot, so I push in my right foot, my body lengthens a little bit to put my hand on. I push in my left foot, my body lengthens a little bit to put my left hand on. And then I can tip back and the thumbs take me down and back. And then as I lean forward, the fingers bring me forward and up. At the top, breathe in. And then just feather your way back to your sit bones. Slight tip, thumbs take you back and down. Slight tip forward, fingers bring you forward and up. And feather your way back to neutral. Give that a rest for a moment. Pause and feel the difference in your sit bones. So I started out much more on my left sit bone, and now it's a little bit more evenly distributed. In the Aston paradigm, our definition of balance is the negotiation of our asymmetrical differences. So we have asymmetries from our anatomy, our traumas, physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, and how that gets held in the fascial system. And our body has been negotiating those without our awareness. Okay, so next step, I'm going to push off my right foot to bring my right hand on. Do that again a little bit. And now as I go down, I'm going to go from one sit bone to the other. Breathe out. Transfer my weight forward. Push off my feet, push off my seat. My fingers come down to help me rise up. Get to the top, breathe in. Through your nose, feather back to neutral. And neutral for now is a similar length between the front of your body and the back of your body. Push off the foot, one hand comes on. Push off the foot, one hand comes on. Feather down. Letting your hands give your pelvis awareness. Tip forward a little bit. Push off your feet. Push off your seat. Feather up. And with this movement, less is more over time. Sometimes if we can't feel it and we've lost our awareness, and we all have, we can just remember less, smaller and smaller. And we kind of have been in a culture that more is more. No pain, all gain. Okay, check in again. Where's the weight on your feet? Where's the weight on your sit bones? Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more feathering. So feel which sit bone you have more weight on. And you're going to start your way down by going to the opposite sit bone. So you're going to go, so I have a little more weight on my left sit bone, so I'm going to go left, right, releasing into gravity. My hands come out a little bit. Give me a little bit more stretch. Breathe out. Transfer your weight forward. Then you'll go the opposite, left, right. Your hands will come up your leg, supinate. Your thumb joints will open. And then breathe in through your nose. And then release and feather back to neutral. Oh, feels so good. Let's do it again. So if you have a little more weight on one sit bone, go over to the other side, feathering down. Your arms pull you into a little bit more of a stretch. Breathe out. Take a small breath in, breathe all the way out. Let your belly go. Transfer your weight a little bit forward. Push off your feet, push off your seat. Feel your spine rise, your arms come back. And imagine that as you bring your palms up and your thumbs out, that there's this V coming into the back of your body. But try not to arch. If you notice yourself arching, best practice is to come out and start again. Because if we correct, if you will, in the tunnel, so there's the start of the move, there's the finish of the move, and if something is less than optimal in the midst of the move, the best practice is to come back out and start again. Bring your awareness, tip back, feather down, breathe out. Transfer your weight a little bit forward, push off your heels, push off your seat. Draw your hands towards your ASIS. Feel the V in your back. Breathe in. And feather back to neutral. You can pause the recording. Take yourself through that. Rewind it. Take yourself through it. And then just feel where your sit bones are. Ankles underneath your knees. Hips a little bit higher than your knees as for the setup. One more time, slightly tip back, feather down. Breathe out, feel the flexion of your chest, breathing your breath out. Transfer your weight forward, push in your heels, push in your seat. Draw your hands in. And release to neutral. Seated arcing to neutral for now. It progresses as we progress.